What's up, everyone? In another episode of Survivor 49, it looked like the end might be near for Savannah and Rizo, but it might be safe to say that they came out of this episode as the king and queen of Fiji. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your Survivor Breakdown. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single week breaking down Survivor 49 and also the amazing race European adventure with my wonderful spouse, Sam. We're having a lot of fun with that one, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode every single week. And also, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that thumbs up button down there. It takes all of 0.2 seconds to do so, and it really helps us out more than you even know. Those likes really do go a long way, so please hit the like button. So there's two things there, folks: subscribe, like, and let's get to the update. Alright, let's get into it, folks. I hope you're all doing very well. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Last week, I'm afraid we couldn't get around to recording because we were sat here all ready to go, and then I had a storage issue that I had to figure out over the week. Thankfully, I managed to figure it out, so that's why we're back this week. So apologies for no appearance last week, but the mail video that a lot of you have been waiting for is out, or at least the first episode of it, so go check that out. I'll mention it again at the end of the video, but right now, we're here to talk about Survivor 49, and very early into this episode, it seemed like things weren't looking very good for Sophie, with just an I. Just remember, we got Sophie with an I, Sophie with an E, who is now being referred to as Soph. And then the other Sophie, who hasn't gotten as much airtime, is actually being referred to as Sophie with her full name. Now, I am going to say something about Sophie, and I'm talking about the Sophie who we haven't seen much of. I already love Sophie with an I. She's fantastic. You all know this. I've been talking about this for weeks. But Sophie with an E, full name Sophie now, I guess we'll call her. I have a public service announcement. I am annoyed that the producers and editors, maybe Jeff, who knows who really had a say in it, but she barely got any airtime. And listen, I'll be honest, some people that have been getting airtime this season, I consider to be considerably annoying. And I think Sophie, we got to see more of her this week. It seems like all of a sudden the merge has hit. You know, the merge has hit, and then the Sophie in the background is starting to move towards the middle. She has been dominating the merge. She won the first individual immunity challenge. She is consistently always trying to be in the driver's seat and trying to, you know, strategize all she can. And I'm sitting to myself thinking, why have we spent the entire pre-merge of the producers showing us people making absolutely no moves and just crying into the camera every single week, when Sophie is actually really going to town on a lot of this? Now, I know that's a case of, you know, there was one tribe going to tribal council a lot, but even so, we knew the characters on the other tribe, and Sophie wasn't established as one at all. And I'm glad that this episode established her one as more, because I like her. I like her because she's not you can tell she's not full of herself. She's not trying to sit down there in front of the camera and, you know, talk about how hard this game is, and the game's harder than ever because it's 26 days now, you know, which is 13 days less, but it's so much worse. So it's kind of refreshing to see Sophie, because she's playing aggressively, and I like aggressive players. I feel like there's way too much in this day and age of Survivor, especially where it's just kind of stay in line and then, you know, sheep to the slaughter almost. And if you step out of line, off you go to the slaughter. And, you know, Sophie's trying to take the course of the game into her hands, and you can't fault somebody for that. So I really wish Sophie had more edits before this episode, but I'm glad at least she's getting a little bit of representation now in the merge, because the only thing she got in the pre-merge was when she turned around and said, "Hey Jeff, I don't really want this fruit reward. I'd rather have pizza or hot dogs." Who can blame her? Right, great, yeah, fair point. Fair point, right? I know a lot of people will be like, okay, awesome fruit, they love fruit, right? But let's be real, at least for me and Sophie, when you're on Survivor, if Jeff comes out and goes, "You're going to be playing for some fruit today," I'd say, take it back. Where's the pizza? No, I wouldn't really. I'd kiss Jeff's ass, because that's part of the game now. That's actually part of the game. On a meta level, if you want to get a better chance at the producers being on your side, kiss Jeff's ass. Thank him for his fruit. Says, thank you, Jeff, for your banana. No, that sounded. Thank you, Jeff, for your plums. No, that sounded bad as well. Jeff, I appreciate you giving me coconuts. No. Let's move on. Point is, kiss Jeff's fruit. No, we're not going to go with that. Point is, kiss Jeff's ass. metaphorically, and that will help you in the game. So if you didn't do that, now she doesn't get an edit. Coincidence? I think not, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of people talking about that. Point is, I like Sophie. She should have gotten more airtime until today. But Sophie did actually manage without getting away. We were getting away with this episode, even though her name was thrown out in the ring. So I don't know. I had a strong feeling, especially as we got to the back end of this. I thought Rizo's not going anywhere. Nowhere. And the producers, I was thinking to myself, they're not going to let him go this easy. Then lo and behold, Savannah finds out her advantage. Hey, you're going to Rizo's island to bail him out the shit. And then lo and behold, Savannah and Rizo were safe. We're going to talk about that a bit more later on. But yeah, Sophie with an eye. Let's go back to her. She was navigating the idea of, oh crap, I could be on the outs now because Savannah and Rizo are at the bottom of the tribe, so if I need to distance myself because they're pulling me down like an anchor, I gotta do what I gotta do, and I respect her for that. Not surprised at all. She knows these games. I know she does. She's a Big Brother fan as well, and she spent time watching the live feeds. She knows how these games work. She's not going to wait around until it's too late. Sophie is on it like a car bonnet. Honestly, Sophie squared. Let's go. I think both the Sophies are doing really, really well. Now, on the other hand of things, where Sophie's ready to drop Savannah and Rizo, Jawan was doing damage control. The thing about Jawan is I find him to be a little bit of a... I don't know. He seems to always have his finger on the pulse, but I don't really feel like he tries to do anything, if that makes sense. And I understand it because he also... I feel alienated himself in the pre-merge because of, I think, lack of self-awareness. I think he was taking people's things and doing things to people's things that he just weren't thinking about. And also, come on, this is Survivor. This is season 49 seasons now, and Jawan has made the rookie mistake so many times in the pre-merge of waltzing off by himself saying, I'm going to get wood. And you come back and you got a couple of twigs. Yeah, wood. Yeah, you mean an idol, don't you, buddy? That's exactly what that is. So he comes across as slimy as well because of that. People aren't going to trust him. Jawan isn't the kind of guy who I think has the ability to stand up and drive this game, and that's why I think he's not going to win. He could get towards the end. He could be the guy who comes along and gets no votes at Final Tribal Council because he radiates that energy. He radiates, I think, he's so much at Tribal Council. It's like he's trying to be in the driver's seat in terms of telling the story, but, it's a case of you might be trying to tell a story, but are you even a character in the story? Because I don't think he is. I think he sits by and I think he passively plays. But I think he's trying to convince himself and us that he's playing hard. But I'm going to make a claim. Jawan will not win Survivor 49. There, I've said it. I just don't see it happening at all. If he does, hats off to him. But I just don't think that's going to be the case. He was trying to do damage control with the Riz God. The Riz God, yes. R-I-Z-G-O-D, Riz God, baby. Yes, the Riz God, who attempted to be humble this episode. Interesting. No, he had one where we said, I need to humble myself. And I'm like, okay, at least you got that right. Even though he was trying damage control and all that kind of jazz, he still acknowledged that. Next on the hit list is Savannah and Rizo. Well, turns out that didn't work out for you, Jawan, did it? And there's another case of you had them there, head on a silver platter, right? That you've got, a tribe of 5 that you're about to vote there. And somehow Savannah and Rizo both get away. And this is why Jawan isn't going to win Survivor, because he talks like, this is what's going to happen next. And I believe this is what's going to happen next. And the next person to be voted out of Survivor is MC. Oh, grace. I mean, Jawan just... I hope I'm proving my point right now. Point, evidence, explain. That's a good way to actually make a point. Because I feel like the thing with New Era of what I've found is people make that point. Then there's no evidence to back anything up that they say at Tribal. It's just who's got the best metaphor and who's going to say it in the most mystical, magical kind of way. But yeah, sorry, I'm having fun with this. I feel like I'm doing a roast take of the episode and I'm having so much more fun with it. Okay, so Christina found the idol with Alex and Stephen present. Whatever happened to the days when you could find an idol, without somebody being there? I don't know if that's a... Because I was talking to Sam about this in the episode, because Sam was out in the kitchen. Sam's not the biggest fan of New Era Survivor. Sam was out in the kitchen. I go, Sam, Christina found an idol. And she goes, oh. And I'm like, and Steve and Alex were there. And then it was Ah, and then I said, what happened to the days, when you could find an idol and keep it secret, right? Actually use it for your game rather than it being a share circle. Come on, everybody. Hi, my name's Christina and I have an idol. Hi, Christina. That's literally what it feels like in New Era. But Sam made the point of, maybe the game's just gotten so kind of meta now that, nobody is allowed to actually go off without somebody with them. I disagreed with Sam on that one because I think it's just a case of that's been a case for ages. People have been suspicious and snuck around the jungle. Tony, Spy Shack, all that kind of stuff has happened. But actively bringing people along the hunt with you, people who you aren't necessarily going to go to the end with, people who would stab you in the back. Because I have no. Okay, I believe Stephen would stick more loyal to Christina, but Alex, geez, I wouldn't trust that guy as far as I could throw him. I don't know. I just think. He works in DC, folks, with a prominent politician who he has not named. I don't know. I feel like he's untrustworthy. But I don't know. I think the thing with these idol hunters, it's not going to benefit Christina because it's going to put a bigger target on her back because word will get out. She's got an idol. And the more you can keep that concealed and spring it on people and go, oh my God, Christina had an idol. Boom, Christina's stock goes up through the roof. I really think there are so many more benefits to you being the only person who knows. And I have also seen Sophie talking about this. Sophie with an eye. She said, no matter what I would find this season on, I saw her say this on social media, my intention was to never tell anybody because that's the way you do it. You don't do it with, come on everybody, let's go skipping out into the field and find an idol together because let's all share the $1 million minus our taxes, which would make it about 750,000 maybe, and then we'll split that 3 ways down the middle. It's just, oh my God. Give it a rest. I want to see. Survivor's harder than ever. Okay, well, why are we going idol shopping with our friends? Now, when it came to the immunity challenge, they were split into 2 teams. Now, half of the cast would receive immunity, judging by who was the last person standing, basically, in the entire thing. So you had your team members, and there was more than one shot at getting immunity for yourself, because somebody could literally carry you through this challenge. And now it came down to Savannah versus Sophie, full name, at the end, and Savannah was the one to pull it out the bag, saving her ass, because she could definitely have been gone this episode. I think she is getting a very good edit. Am I a Savannah fan? That's another story that we will save for another day, kids. But I think she is playing well, and I think she's shaping up to potentially be a winner of this season. I mean, I can't remember. I have to go back to what my winner pick was. I believe I said Savannah, and I also believe Sam said Savannah as well, so we'll see how that one pans out. Savannah did end up winning the immunity challenge though, which means she won immunity for herself, Sophie with an I, not Sophie with an E, Stephen, Christina, and Alex, the idol buddies. So well done to Savannah for that one, which left the other half of the cast in peril. They would head back to the old Uli beach, but Savannah would then join them not long after we found out that her solo advantage, after being the last person left in the challenge, was that there would be a little bit of extra voltage in the works, but it wasn't necessarily a case of this is happening tonight. She was told, hey, you're going over there, you're going to vote with these guys, or are you? If you vote tonight, boom, yeah, that's your vote. You're influencing this 5 right now, and you could be part of sending someone home. Or if you don't vote, you can fold that parchment up, put it in your back pocket, and save it for another day. And that's what Savannah did end up doing, but because of her presence in the tribe, it kind of created this uncertainty of, oh my God, maybe it's going to be harder to get Rizo out now. Well done, producers. And that's exactly what happened. Rizo lost the plot when Savannah got there, and he was so excited. He was trying to contain his excitement, had to humble himself, which shouldn't be hard for a guy who calls himself the Riz God to do. But yeah, that was an interesting one, because all of a sudden the cogs just started turning on this tribe, and then it was like, oh my God, maybe Rizzo's going to use the idol. What if Savannah's got something as well? Savannah's got a vote. We might as well just go in another direction. Oh my God, MC, she's really good. Let's get her out. And then that's kind of the way that the tribe went. Now, Sophie was thrown a vote in the end, but it was chaos as well, because Jawan also caught wind that Sophie was playing hard, and that MC... Okay. Wow, it's all like ding, 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 ding. You know that meme where somebody sat there and somebody sat there behind them about to assassinate them, then somebody sat behind the assassinator, and then somebody's all the way up on the balcony about to assassinate the assassinator who's going to assassinate the assassinator. That's what sometimes Survivor is, and I think that was the case today. So MC ended up telling Jawan that Sophie was going to throw a hinky vote on him should Rizzo use the idol, and then the bullet ended up ricocheting and going back to MC, meaning that MC probably should have just kept her mouth shut in the first place, because then it ended up going back to her. MC, wow, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought MC was gonna make it a hell of a lot further this season. I was expecting maybe final 7, final 6 run from her. So yeah, her joining Nate, I think that was Nate on the jury. That did not look like Nate at all. Can we talk about that for a second? I saw social media blow up as well, going, "That's Nate." It's crazy, isn't it? When you shave someone's face, how different they look. I mean, to be fair, I look very different with a shaved face. I mean, it's weird. Like, even though I started out on YouTube with, you know, baby face when I was 17, 18, and you know, even now when I shave, I don't look like the same person. It's weird. I feel like you grow into facial hair sometimes, and that's what's happened. I think with the viewers over the course of 7, 8 episodes, we've gotten to know somebody with a beard. So then it's like anything. This has happened a million times on the jury, where someone goes over there and you go, "Oh, they scrub up well," or "Oh, they look different," or "You know, oh, they don't scrub up well so much." This was just a good old case of I think it was, wow, he looked younger. It's a good thing. It's a positive. Well done, Nate. Keep the beard shaved. Oh no, you look great with the beard as well. You are a rock star. I like you. But MC is now off to the jury. She had a very, very nice exit. She smiled. She wished everybody luck. I'm interested to see what her feelings are after the game. I'm sure I'm going to keep an eye out for like interviews and all that kind of jazz to check that out. But she seemed very composed. I feel like that's more the way, though, especially in modern day Survivor. Back in the day, if you were annoyed, you'd probably say something to them on the way out, whereas now you keep your composure and then get passive aggressive on social media. That's all for today's episode of Survivor 49. That is all of your Survivor 49 updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Had a little fun with today's update. I feel like I don't know, I'm still in this process of when I'm doing a new series on YouTube of, you know, trying something new out. You know, how am I going to approach this? What's the style going to be? You know, whereas, because when I do my Big Brother stuff, it's very much newsroom meets, I feel like, SNL, because I throw a bit of comedy in there as well, a little bit of laughs here and there. You know, it's not fully fledged comedy, but, you know, we have a laugh with it, don't we? And, you know, with Survivor, it's different. It's a different ball game, because it's not like delivering you guys the news. It's more so giving my opinions on what I think of an episode. We all saw the episode. You all don't need telling what happened, you know? And I think that's why I'm kind of leaning into this, kind of having a bit more fun with it, if that makes sense. You know, I'll rather than being like, and then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, this. I like to, you know, roast it a little bit, have a little bit of a fun with it, just like we do with the live feed. So folks, I really hope you managed to get a laugh today. I think that was my main intention with today's video, so I really hope you managed to laugh at least once during this video. I hope you're all keeping well out there. All of you have been asking for the mail video. In case you missed it, the first mail video is up now. I announced in that video that the mail video has now been put into a series. We had so much fun over in the first one. I am currently in the middle of editing the second one, and it should be out this weekend, folks, for the second episode of the mail video. So very, very exciting times ahead with that. I'll tag it at the end of this video, so if you didn't catch it and you're like, oh, I really want to watch the mail video now, I got your back, don't worry, I'll put it in at the end of this. But besides that, folks, I hope you're all keeping well. It's getting cold here in Massachusetts. I'm in my cozy fleece. I love this fleece so much. Don't I look like a New Englander wearing something like this? I'm definitely feeling the part. I hope you're all keeping well, folks. Let me know where you're listening from. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. I hope you're all doing good. I miss you all. I miss seeing your faces regularly and, you know, saying hi every single day in the live feed updates. We do have a Discord if you're also missing the community. There's a lot of faces that you'll know and names that I've brought up over the Big Brother season that hang out in there. And we talk several times a week in there, just people doing their thing, whether they're watching their TV shows or, you know, talking about their dogs or whatever. We have a lot of fun in there, lots of lovely people, and the doors are always open in the Discord. So if you feel like becoming a patron, the link is in the description, and then I will send you the link to the Discord so you can join it. Folks, I hope you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next Survivor update, I've been your host, Tom VASEY. Good night.